LA Rider is brought to you by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers, serving Louisiana motorcyclists and their families for nearly 2 decades. Dudley DeBosier, official injury lawyers for the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign.
When you're on a motorcycle, you got to look out for all kinds of stuff. But after a crash, it's a danger you can't see that can really get you.
The insurance company is working behind the scenes to deny you compensation.
They're building a case against you, but at Dudley DeBosier, we're working for you.
Keep your head on a swivel. Let these guys look out for you. Motorcycle crash? Demand different. Demand Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
Hello and welcome to LA Rider, Louisiana's #1 source for motorcycle travel, lifestyles, and adventure. I'm T.W. Robinson, so glad you're joining us today. This week we take a ride to Centerville, Mississippi and check out a little cafe with a very big sandwich, or should I say sandwich. Tammy and I get up to our ankles in fun at Landry Vineyards. Is this really how they make wine? And Amanda Jo tells us all about the Iron Horse Shootout in Amarillo, Texas. All this plus much more on this week's edition of LA Rider. So grab your gear and let's take a ride. Welcome once again to LA Rider. I'm T.W. Robinson. So glad you're tuning in today. If you're looking for a new twist on a fried chicken sandwich, you might want to hop on your bike and head to Centerville, Mississippi. At the Orchard Cafe, they have a version called the Angry Bird that might just make you very happy. Fall may have officially arrived in South Louisiana, but fall temperatures were still pretty much AWOL as I headed north out of Baton Rouge on this September morning. My destination on this beautiful Thursday was Centerville, Mississippi. I had gotten an invitation from the owner of the Orchard Cafe to come check out his restaurant. Well, you know, I do like to find new places to eat. Plus, the ride to Centerville is always pleasant. As the sun rose in the sky, so did the temperatures, so I quickly traded the main highway for the cooler and less traveled back roads, turning what normally would be a little over an hour trip to Centerville into a very pleasant 2-hour motorcycle ride through the countryside. The Orchard Cafe is located on Mississippi Highway 24, just on the edge of town. In fact, it's almost directly across the street from another one of my favorite Centerville destinations, Vine Brothers Grocery. Well, I heard there was another place in Centerville besides Vine's to eat, so, you know, I just had to check it out. Now, the Orchard Cafe isn't a big place, but the menu is huge. So many things to choose from. Fried chicken, burgers, po' boys, wraps, salads, and sandwiches. They call them sandwiches at the Orchard. So what is your specialty? Do you have one?
A specialty called the Angry Bird. The Angry Bird is a fried, marinated chicken breast. Has jalapenos, bacon, and cheese on a bun with a house sauce.
Well, you know what? That doesn't sound like that'll make me angry. It sounds like it'd make me very happy.
Make you happy. Well,
that's what I'm going to have then.
Okay.
While McDonald and his staff were cooking up my Angry Bird, I grabbed a seat at one of the tables and sipped on an Arnold Palmer. Nothing like iced tea and lemonade to cool off on a warm day. In about 10 minutes, my order was ready. A delicious-looking Angry Bird and a side of one of my all-time Southern favorites, fried okra.
You're not supposed to eat at the counter, TW.
Oh, no. The okra definitely had me smiling. Time to get my Angry Bird to the table and see if it would make my tummy happy. Wow, look at that, dripping. Ooh, the okra's falling out. Oh my gosh. That does not make me angry. That makes me happy. Where did the name Angry Bird come from for that sandwich?
Angry Bird came from when the chicken sandwich started arriving around about 2-3 years ago during COVID. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna put my spin on it. And a lot of people always say, you always looking mean and angry all the time. So I'm like, create me an Angry Bird sandwich. And so once I put it all together, I'm like, hey, this is gonna be a hit. And we started selling it, I think it was 2018, and just been a hit ever since. Looking for a new twist on the fried chicken sandwich? Grab an Angry Bird sandwich at the Orchard Cafe in Centerville. By the way, they also feature daily plate lunches, and every Friday is Seafood Friday. Well, as usual, I couldn't finish everything, but I had to finish that Angry Bird. That chicken sandwich was out of this world. And I have leftovers for tonight. If you're looking for a great sandwich or a plate lunch, check out the Orchard Cafe. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Stay with us. More LA Rider coming your way right after this.
LA Rider is brought to you by the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign, a 501c3 nonprofit organization exclusively dedicated to promoting motorcycle awareness and rider safety throughout Louisiana and the nation.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us. See us. Watch for us.
See us.
Watch for us.
Save us.
Nearly 2/3 of all motorcycle fatalities are caused by distracted and inattentive drivers. Please, watch for motorcycles. Motocross? We've got it at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. All the bikes, all the gear, and the expertise to help make you #1 at the track. From beginner to expert, we've got just what you need at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. Come see us today at G & Gonzalez, Louisiana's oldest family-owned power sports dealer, located in downtown Baton Rouge in the shadow of the state capitol.
Race on down to G & Gonzalez. Becoming #1 starts here. We're waiting for you!
I didn't see him.
Watch for us.
She just came out of nowhere.
See us.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Save us.
Please, watch for motorcycles.
I'm TW, and we're here at Law Enforcement Motorcycle Specialties, where Josh Velour is building some incredible bikes with some really big wheels. The big wheels keep on turning at Josh Velour's Walker, Louisiana shop. During the day, Josh spends most of his time keeping police motors on the road. But lately, in his spare time, he's been helping to create some real head turners.
Wow.
So Josh, I know the name of your business is Law Enforcement Motorcycle Specialties. So is this a police bike?
Definitely not. We do, that's our main business is law enforcement motorcycles. We do several different departments. These bagger projects started with a customer of mine. We did a lay frame 34. Wow. I agreed to it, and I figured, hey, you know, why not?
Yeah.
But
and have you enjoyed doing this because of the creative?
Yeah, I do.
The big wheel craze is the latest thing in the custom motorcycle world. Bored with chopping, bobbing, and stretching their rides, some people have turned to adding larger front wheels to create their custom look. At one time, a 21-inch front rim was something unique, but the big wheel bikes being built here pushed the envelope even further.
When this came in, all the bike was stock as far as all the chrome and everything. It was just a stock Street Glide. So what we did was we started ordering chrome and showing the customer and kind of made a theme for it and just went from there. This is a 30-inch wheel. They go all the way up to a 34 now.
These custom baggers are big, and they are heavy too. The large front ends require a lot of special engineering, and custom air suspension is not just a cool feature, it's pretty much a requirement. Are they hard to handle? Well, that depends on who you ask, but they do require a bit of a learning curve.
If I feel rubbing, like doing a little rough, I let some air out and I just balance it off. And it rides just fine.
Now, if you get a lighter wheel with less material, it's a lot easier to handle, but you definitely feel the weight of it in the handlebars.
Round and round they go. Where they'll stop, nobody knows. Love them or hate them, big wheel baggers are all the rage, as more and more riders proclaim it's what's up front that counts.
For the best in restorative and cosmetic dental care, choose Dr. Jason Hutto. Your smile is important, and so is your overall oral health. And at the dental office of Jason Hutto, our aim is to provide the highest quality dental care. From implants and cosmetic procedures to fillings, root canals, and cleaning, choose Dr. Jason Hutto.
Hi, I'm Jason Hutto. Call for your appointment today.
But not on Fridays. That's the day we ride.
At Jandy Imports, we have everything for your ride. From high-quality leather jackets, vests, and chaps, to saddlebags, luggage, and riding boots. We have a large selection of helmets, too, and feature a full line of AmSoil and bike care products. At Jandy Imports, you'll find the area's largest selection of patches, all sewn on for you while you wait. You need it? We've got it. At Jandy Imports, the little store with the big inventory.
Come see us at Jandy Imports.
At G & Gonzalez, we do it all, from really big to the really small. Keeping you safe? No problem. We have the latest AOT racing gear found exclusively at G & Gonzalez. Don't monkey around, head on down to G & Gonzalez of Baton Rouge, where the fun begins.
For more than 40 years, Robert Rad Leonard has provided South Louisiana motorcyclists with all their needs, from a showroom jam-packed with all the latest gear to a full-service shop featuring skilled technicians who handle everything from routine service to complete engine rebuilds. Rad Cycles also carries a huge selection of pre-owned models and has the area's largest inventory of used bike parts. For all your riding needs, do what South Louisiana motorcyclists have been doing since 1978. Go Rad. Rad Cycles. They're rider recommended. Looking for a trailer? Check out Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. At Mike's 2 Baton Rouge locations, you'll find a huge inventory of high-quality motorcycle trailers, boat trailers, cargo trailers, utility trailers, and custom-built trailers. Plus, the largest inventory of trailer parts and accessories in the area. Can't find that perfect trailer? Let Mike build one for you. Mike Gerald's Trailer Depot. 2 locations in Baton Rouge to serve you. They're rider recommended.
Want a high-quality used motorcycle delivered to your door with a money-back guarantee? At usedbikesdirect.com, you can choose from hundreds of high-quality American, Japanese, and European motorcycles. Just browse our website, pick your bike, get your financing, and arrange your trade-in, all from the comfort of your home. And we'll deliver it straight to your door for free, complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Buying a used motorcycle has never been easier or safer. Just go to usedbikesdirect.com and start shopping.
Welcome back. Well, Amanda is joining us now, and last time I talked to you, Amanda, you were headed to the Iron Horse Shootout in Amarillo, Texas. Now, give me the lowdown on that. I heard it was pretty exciting.
This competition was incredible. The way it was organized, the way it was put together, it was great.
Now, this was their first time putting on this, right?
Yes, this was their inaugural event.
All right, well, let's get to the nitty-gritty, girl. How'd you do?
Well, all right. So, overall, I got 4th place in civilian. But that's not too bad because 1st through 4th were all Cajun Thunder members. So, we were pretty proud. My dad, of course, got 1st. He got Mr. Rodeo for civilian, so we're proud of him. We had our Cajun Thunder members, Steve, get 2nd, Danny, 3rd, and I got 4th. But I think an achievement this time was over everybody there were 90-some competitors. My dad got 1st place slow ride, and I got 2nd over everybody.
Oh my gosh. That should thrill you, shouldn't it?
That was an accomplishment, I think. I think that was a win. But you know, every competition we go, we see something different. The thing we saw different this time was in the challenge ride. So we started the challenge with a 240 pull-out circle, brakeless. And then you go over a ladder, and that was designed on purpose because the organizer of the event did that on purpose because not long before this competition, he was going down the highway and a ladder fell out of a truck right in front of him and he had to roll right over it. Then right after that, we had little bitty cones that we had to weave around, but our front wheel had to go around it and the back wheel had to come before it. So it was like a little crisscross going on. We hadn't seen that before. They had 3 extra events besides the speed, the slow, and the challenge. And the most fun, I think, was the 2-man speed chase. You pick a number in a hat and you're paired up with somebody. You don't know who they are.
Oh.
So, and this becomes your 2-man team. So I was paired up with a man named Joe Bob, and he was awesome. I was very lucky to have him as a team member. And what you do is your 2 teams both start at the same points for these 2 patterns, and you race. And whichever team wins, they move on, the other team gets eliminated. So he and I, we made it all the way to the final eliminator round for 1st and 2nd place. We make it through, we're riding through, and everybody's watching, civilians against police. It was so cool. And at the end, everybody was kind of just silent, like, who won that? Because it was so close. We were 0.02 seconds, our times, both of our teams, and we lost. Oh. So we got 2nd place, but I mean, everybody was at the edge of their seats for this.
Oh my God, that was so tight.
It was a really fun event.
Yeah. Now, I know you told me that they had given y'all the patterns. So were you able to practice those here before you went to the competition?
We were, actually. We set up 2 or 3 of them, and we worked them hard. Now, granted, I only practiced like 2 days before this competition.
2 days.
I know, right. But no, we did. We set them up, and we figured out the right path of travel to get us through the quickest and whip around the turns, and that was a lot of fun.
Did you think that helped you in the competition?
I do. I do think it helped a lot. It helped us figure out that path like I was talking about. But out here, we practice on concrete. Up there, this was some real gritty asphalt. And they had to keep blowing it off multiple times through the day because we would go through and we would tear up some little gravel pieces and then we would slide out. But that was one of the challenges. We had to relearn a new surface to ride on. Out here, you know, we're slipping and sliding. Out there, we're gripping hard, but it's coming apart. It was a good experience. We made a whole lot of friends and built new relationships, and I'm excited to go back. We've got our next competition in Grapevine, Texas, so I'm hoping we'll see a lot of familiar faces.
Oh, well, it was good to catch up with you, and good luck on the next one.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more LA Rider.
At G & Gonzalez, we do it all, from really big to the really small. Keeping you safe? No problem. We have the latest AOT racing gear found exclusively at G & Gonzalez. Don't monkey around, head on down to G & Gonzalez of Baton Rouge, where the fun begins.
I didn't see him.
Watch for us.
She just came out of nowhere.
See us.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Save us.
Please watch for motorcycles. You might just save someone's life. Motocross? We've got it at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. All the bikes, all the gear, and the expertise to help make you #1 at the track. From beginner to expert, we've got just what you need at G & Gonzalez in Baton Rouge. Come see us today at G & Gonzalez, Louisiana's oldest family-owned power sports dealer, located in downtown Baton Rouge in the shadow of the state capitol.
Race on down to G & Gonzalez. Becoming #1 starts here.
We're waiting for you!
I didn't see him.
Watch for us.
She just came out of nowhere.
See us.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Save us.
Please watch for motorcycles. You might just save someone's life.
Just putting on leather and sitting on a bike doesn't make someone a biker, and it's easy to tell the posers from the pros.
Same goes for law firms. Just because someone's a lawyer doesn't mean they know motorcycle cases.
At Dudley DeBosier, we've been fighting for injured bikers all over Louisiana for years.
After a crash, get experience on your side. Call Dudley DeBosier. Motorcycle crash? Demand different. Demand Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
Support motorcycle safety and encourage other drivers to watch for motorcycles. Purchase a motorcycle awareness specialty plate for your car, truck, or motorcycle. For an additional $25 a year, you can help the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign promote safety, awareness, and training programs throughout Louisiana. I'm T.W. Robinson. No matter what you ride, put a MAC plate on it and help support motorcycle awareness wherever you go.
Improve your skills. Make U-turns with ease. Tighten your corners and ride with more confidence and greater control. Sign up now for Cajun Thunder's Motorcycle Skills Training Course taught by Police Instructor Mike Richard and Amanda Joe at Cajun Thunder's state-of-the-art facility in Ponchatoula. Take your riding skills to the next level with Cajun Thunder's Rider Advancement Training.
Welcome back. Tammy Arnder and I have done some crazy things together. And at Landry Vineyards in Monroe last month, they were making wine the old-fashioned way. And of course, Tammy and I jumped right in.
Nothing like taking off your riding boots and going barefoot.
Come on, y'all. Come on, Tammy.
Especially when you can put your bare feet in a bucket of grapes. And these grapes have been frozen, so it was a shocker to our little doggies. You can tell by TW's reaction. But frigid fruit couldn't stop us from channeling our inner Lucille Ball.
Some rhythm.
In early September each year, the hillside at Landry Vineyards in West Monroe comes alive with the sound of music and squeals of laughter.
I don't know what it is about ladies and stomping in the grapes. As soon as I say you stomp in the grapes, you put your footprints on the back of a Landry Vineyards t-shirt, we do a Lucy Lookalike contest, the ladies just start laughing, giggling. I'm coming to that. I'm going to be there for that, you know.
It's the annual Grape Stomp. Jeff and Libby Landry invite everyone to come celebrate their grape harvest. That celebration wouldn't be complete without tubs of the Lenoir grapes just waiting for some bare feet, an age-old tradition.
I mean, back in the old days, look, ladies' feet work great, right? They're soft, they don't break the seeds, they're gentle on the skins. We just don't have enough feet to do it, right? I mean, when you're doing big production, at this point in history, we need equipment to accomplish that much work.
Centuries ago in Italy, this is how the juice from wine was made. But Jeff says, don't worry, we've come a long way since hand picking and feet crushing.
Inevitably, every time during the grape stomp, some lady walks up to me with a glass of wine and she's like, you're not using that to make, like, no, we're not using that to make wine. We'll put that in the compost pile. No worry. If we did, we'd call it toe cheese wine.
I got a pedicure just for this!
But they do use that juice for imprinting of t-shirts. Moms and daughters, friends and strangers line up to dance in the dark liquid, then have their prints plastered on a t-shirt.
That's a good one. There you go.
Ladies drive in from all over to dress up and recreate that famous scene from the old I Love Lucy sitcom. While Sophie Kleiser goes home to Lafayette with the crown for Best Stomper, rest of us, well, we go home with a memory imprinted in our minds. While this is all about having fun, it's also about recognizing the hard work that's gone into growing this crop. The Louisiana Commissioner of Agriculture, Mike Strain, comes up from Baton Rouge for the event each year.
It's fun for everybody, but it's also a celebration of agribusiness, agro-tourism, and if you look at the Landrys, take Jeff and Libby and their family, their hearts and souls are right here in this farm.
A farm that the Landrys say is all about celebrating the fruits of their labor, whether it be enjoyed by sipping or clicking your heels in a container of grapes.
Stomping grapes and dressing up like Lucy wasn't the only crazy thing we did that weekend. We also entered a beard contest, but we'll have to save that for a future show. I'm T.W. Robinson. We haven't been everywhere, but it's on our list. See you next week for another great edition of LA Rider.
LA Rider is brought to you by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers, serving Louisiana motorcyclists and their families for nearly 2 decades. Dudley DeBosier, official injury lawyers for the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign.
This is Paul Sr. of Orange County Choppers. In my shop, people don't mess with me. When someone gets out of line, I don't let them get away with it.
Neither do we. After a motorcycle crash, the insurance companies know Dudley DeBosier doesn't back down.
We don't let insurance companies push you around, and you shouldn't either.
Trust me, these guys don't mess around. Motorcycle crash? Demand different. Demand Dudley DeBosier. 444-4444.
God bless Chrome Cowgirls like